What if you could have complete control over your own dream world? I mean, the ability to fly, to build entire cities just by thinking about them, to literally talk to the stars. It sounds incredible, right? Well, that's the power of lucid dreaming. But what if that power came with a set of rules? Rules you were never, ever meant to break. Let's dive into the hidden dangers of the lucid dream.
Just think about that for a second. Have you ever had that moment? That sudden spark of awareness where the blurry world around you just snaps into focus and you realize, wait a minute, I'm dreaming. That one little moment, well, that's the key to everything. So that state is called lucidity. And honestly, it's the closest thing any of us will ever get to real-world magic. It's an infinite playground, built entirely by your own mind. But, even magical worlds have their limits.
And that brings us to the whole point of this explainer, the lucid glitch. Turns out your mind has these built-in safety protocols. Think of them like hidden tripwires in your subconscious, and they're there to protect the very fragile architecture of your dreams.
See, if you start pushing too hard against the fabric of your dream, you can trigger these glitches. And when that happens, your personal little sanctuary, it can turn into a prison really, really fast. So what are these rules you must never break?
All right, let's start with the big ones. The actions that literally break the fundamental physics of the dream world itself. These are the glitches that cause your reality to just shatter and fail to render properly. First up, something so simple, so everyday. What do you think happens when you catch a glimpse of your own reflection in a lucid dream?
Well, here's the thing. Your brain just isn't built to render a perfect, real-time reflection of you while you're asleep. The part of your mind that maintains a stable self-image, it's kind of offline. It just can't handle that complex feedback loop. So instead, you get your subconscious mind's twisted interpretation. People report seeing their faces literally melt or their eyes turning into black voids. Sometimes they even see someone else standing right behind them. It basically forces a total system crash in your visual processing.
Okay, rule number 2. So, you're lucid, you're feeling powerful, and you turn to a character in your dream and ask a simple question. Hey, what time is it? Bad move. This question creates a paradox that can send you straight into what's known as the void. You see, time is a construct of our waking world. It just doesn't exist in the weird, nonlinear logic of the subconscious. By asking for the time, you're trying to force a rule on a world where it doesn't belong. Clocks will spin like crazy, and often, the entire dream just collapses into total darkness and silence, leaving you paralyzed until you finally wake up. And it's not just time either. The exact same logic applies to reading. Complex language is a function of your conscious mind, right? But the language centers of your brain are mostly shut down during sleep. So if you try to read a book or a sign, the letters will just start twisting and morphing into total gibberish. This can strain your mind so much that it often triggers what's called a false awakening. That's where you think you've woken up, but guess what? You're actually just in another layer of the dream.
Now, these glitches aren't just about the physics of the dream world. They also affect its inhabitants. And this next rule, this one, is maybe the most dangerous one to break.
Just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got your normal dream character. They're basically just background noise, totally passive. But what happens when you point at one of them and say, "You're not real"? The change is instant, and it is chilling. They can become openly hostile, their faces can go completely blank, or maybe worst of all, every single person in the dream might just stop what they're doing and stare at you in absolute dead silence.
So here's what's really happening. You're basically telling the entire operating system of your mind that it's a fraud. And its response? It's purely defensive. The system will either try to forcibly eject you by waking you up, or, even worse, it'll lock you inside the hostile nightmare world that you just created. So the next set of rules, they aren't about things you do, but about things you feel. It's all about how your own thoughts and emotions can actually destabilize and unravel the dream from the inside out.
This slide shows the terrifying logic of the emotional feedback loop. See, in a lucid dream, your thoughts become literal. So a tiny flicker of fear doesn't just stay in your head. Oh no, the dream instantly makes it real, as a monster. And then, seeing that monster makes you even more afraid, which, of course, makes the monster even more terrifying. It's a vicious spiral that is almost impossible to break out of.
And it's not just fear. Even overexcitement can break the dream. Think of it like a video game that's struggling to keep up. If you start flying or running faster than your brain can generate the scenery, the world will actually de-render. Everything just blurs, fades to gray, and the whole dream collapses. If you want to stay lucid, you've got to move with intention and control. And that brings us to our final, and by far the most mysterious rule. This isn't really a glitch, it's more like a fundamental boundary. It's about a door that appears in so many people's dreams, a door that you are never supposed to open.
So, what is this door? It's a recurring symbol, almost like a warning sign put there by the deepest, oldest part of your own mind.
It can look like a lot of different things, as you can see here. A basement door, a hatch in a floor, maybe a strange black door in a house you remember from childhood. But what it means is always the same. It represents all the parts of your subconscious that you've buried deep down, the forgotten memories, the raw emotions, the chaos. Opening it, it's like knowingly clicking on a folder full of corrupted computer files. You are inviting pure, unprocessed chaos right into your very fragile dream state.
Okay, so after going through all of these glitches and all of these rules, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all really mean for us?
The most important thing to remember is this. Being able to be lucid in a dream is an absolutely incredible gift. It's a huge, infinite ocean of possibility. But you have to remember that you are only a guest inside the complex, powerful house of your own subconscious. And, well, every house has its rules.
So, if you happen to find yourself lucid tonight, go ahead. Fly, create, explore, but respect the boundaries, watch out for the glitches, and whatever you do, don't look in the mirror.